What is up, Loudmouth Sports Talk, Loudmouth Sports Group? It is your true champ, Sean, with my sidekick, Loudmouth Luch. Folks, what a week of wrestling. But out of all that, we're going to discuss a little bit, but the biggest thing we're going to get into is it is the debate show. We had a few debates I've posted that gone up that I can tell you right now, Luch, some controversy, some big controversy with the list that I've complied together that we talked about earlier, Luch. I think I might get hung.
It's a possibility. Me and you are going to get some hate on this episode.
We're going to get some hate, but that's okay.
Justin, what's up, brothers?
Joe, what's up, guys? So, I mean, and I think people are wanting to tune in for this show because I'm telling you right now, Justin, Joe, let your people know to start watching. And Luciano for President 2020. Well, Luch, looks like you got. Listen, you don't got that much of a challenge between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. You could probably get it, man.
That's an easy win.
That's an easy win. So, but first off, folks, please make sure you go to bombshellbowling.com/loudmouth sports talk for all your loudmouth apparel today. T-shirts, $20, hoodies, $40. Make sure you get your hoodies. Limited time at Momi, folks. I mean, great hoodie. As you can see, it is awesome, lightweight, and keeps you warm. So, Luch, where's your hoodie, man? Where's your hoodie?
Gotta get it still.
Yeah, you gotta get it. Jesus. All right, man.
Look at that perm, though.
Hey, I know what he got the perm going. All right, MJF in the house.
you know, you guys knew that was the deal. But
listen. First off, let's get into this, man. I watched the video that you posted online, and I can tell you right now, AEW, I'm telling you, you need to get your shit together. Listen. Your refs, your staff, your wrestlers, you need to get your shit together. Somebody's going to get killed in the ring, and everything you've built, Cody, is going to fall.
All right.
You're going to be at Vince McMahon's feet begging to come back.
This is where I don't think this is. I don't think this is Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes needs to take over more. I think Tony Khan is going to run AEW into the ground if he is in charge fully. There is no way he is going to be able to run this company correctly. You cannot take a fan like a diehard like Mark fan and have him run a card because he's going to make it what he wants to see and not what is best for the wrestlers.
Well, again, from what I'm getting is Chris Jericho actually does the booking. So Chris Jericho is in charge of booking from what I'm hearing. Him and Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes, they all sit down in the Young Bucks. And I think like Cody Rhodes is creative. Tony Rhodes and Young Bucks are creative. Chris Jericho's with the booking, and Khan is dealing with all the social media and getting the name out there and stuff like that because of his name. But here's the problem. You have wrestlers that are not caring for other wrestlers in the ring. You have refs that are not looking out for the wrestlers in the ring. I mean, think about it. We literally saw a guy, in a position, knocked out.
Wait, the worst part about it is this isn't the first time this shit went down.
This is like the third or fourth.
Listen, and this is a serious one. Just like how Matt was a serious one. This man was deer-legged, okay? Knocked the fuck out.
And his legs were crossed, by the way. Like legs over legs, out.
Listen, and what do? They go for a fucking pin. And then what happens? The pin gets broken up. Then
someone should have been a 1-2-3. That pin should have been 1-2-3. Over.
That, or at least throw the fucking X up and get that team out of the match.
Roll him out of the ring. Roll him safely out of the ring.
Listen, he got dragged to the corner by Blade, I believe.
Blade. But I don't think Blade really noticed.
I don't give a damn. You grab that man by his hand, and if there was no response in that grab, you should know as a wrestler what that means. You should know, because the ref should have did that. The minute that man's arms did not go down after a while, he should have grabbed his hand, and if he didn't get the response that the ref knows he's supposed to get, he should have...
Keep talking, man. I got to go grab something.
He should have threw the X up, because that is putting his life in danger. Just think for 1 second, if he would have been badly injured, he would have just been laying there by a turnbuckle. Means more brain damage could be happening. Whatever the case may have been, more and more damage could have kept happening if they would have just let him lay there. The ref needs to be fully responsible for this. And I believe the wrestlers in the match should have a sit-down talk. The fact that he got dragged away with no concern from anybody shows something. That is complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. And there's been people talking on Loudmouth that I've discussed it, that this has not been the first time this has happened in AEW. If this continues to happen, you are going to seriously injure someone or paralyze or kill. This is an industry where it can happen like that. They need to take their wrestlers' health into consideration when doing any stunt or anything. And I don't think that they take into consideration their wrestlers 100%. The AEW is some backyard bullshit sometimes. I hate to say it.
It is.
I love AEW. I do watch. I love watching it. But some of that shit they do is that backyard bullshit that is not meant for professional wrestling.
Absolutely not.
And the ref needs to be fined, and everyone in that match needs to have a sit-down discussion. And
what went wrong?
Exactly. The man got knocked out, in my opinion, by the Young Bucks.
By accident. It was a straight accident. Nothing intentional.
Because the Young Bucks
out of the way. Let's let people know that was not intentional.
Yeah, because Young Bucks are some of the safest wrestlers in pro wrestling today.
Yes.
They might be fucking stupid sometimes.
But they are the safest wrestlers. They make sure that everything's safe.
It wasn't on purpose, but the fact that they landed awkwardly on his head, which obviously caused him to get knocked out. The problem I have is, like I said when Sean was away, is when you have somebody just laying there kind of lifeless, there could be more damage going on to the brain that we don't know about. And Chris Benoit has, because of him, we've known about how head injuries could really impact a wrestler's livelihood.
Absolutely.
So I think they need to take in consideration their wrestlers and their health at every match, during every spot or every stunt. They need to stop taking this like it's just some fun backyard, some kids having a fucking trampoline and they're trying to put on a show for their friends. This isn't that. This is pro wrestling, and there needs to be
accountability. There needs to be accountability and responsibility.
Exactly. And the ref
and the wrestlers.
The ref more than anything.
Yes. The ref, if you're going to have a ref in there, you need to have a ref who's a veteran of that style of match, because what was it, a 8-man tag?
A 4-way tag.
4-way tag. So you need to have a ref that can keep control of all of that. And when you don't have that, and I believe, listen, some of those refs on AEW are suspect, all right? And you're going to, and listen, you're probably going to hang me, Luch. Aubrey's suspect on.
Get the fuck out of it. That one time,
after
brother.
After the Matt Hardy incident, She is.
That
She
was
makes me
one
really
time.
question.
One time, please.
But that one time could have been his life.
No,
Okay.
and you're right. And that's why I think they need to take into consideration their wrestlers because, like I said on my post, that is somebody's child laying in that ring. Or that is someone's father laying in that ring.
Yes.
So you got to take in consideration that these people have families to feed. They can't do that if they have a busted neck for 10 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they really need to start buckling down on safety of wrestlers.
They do. They do. And that's the bad part of AEW. I think the safety of wrestlers with AEW is not really taking it and take a big consideration as like Vince takes with his safety of his wrestlers. So hence why I think AEW is a great company. It will probably close up shop in the next like 5 years.
It depends. It depends on how this keeps going. I think the vets need to step up. I think the JRs, the Arns, and the Tullys need to step up and go, listen, if you dumbasses keep doing this shit, you guys are going to be back in them little gymnasiums not making barely anything to what you're making right now. So get your shit together and let's put on a show for these fans. And just stop acting like fucking idiots. Stop
some of the big vets,
backyard wrestlers.
Some of the big vets do need the Chris Jerichos, the Cody Rhodes, the Dustin, all those guys that are veterans need to step back and need to start working with the younger talent and being this is how it needs to be done. Or we're not going to go anywhere. And I think that's the problem is the veterans, the Brody Lees, like I said, the Cody Rhodes, all those guys, they need to step back. They need to take a step back and be like, we don't need championships on us. We don't need that right now. We need to help this young generation into understanding wrestling.
First you have to deflate Cody's head.
Yes.
To make that happen. But also, I think AEW needs to tighten up their wrestlers. And what I mean by this is they give them too much freedom. Too much.
I like the freedom that they give them on their character, developing their characters and their promos. Some promos. Some people need work. They need work, but I like that you give them freedom, you give them the bullet points, you go out there and this is what you do. I like that freedom to develop your character, but I don't like the freedom I'm doing is pretty much running a match from bell to bell. Seriously.
I agree.
I know when I was training, I didn't go up to my partner and go, okay, what are we doing? And this is what we're going to do every single step of the way. No, there was somebody behind us. There's someone behind us going, you're gonna hit this spot, hit that spot, hit this spot, hit that spot, hit that spot. In the middle, you could make up your own little things, but we need to hit these key points and go. And I don't think AEW is doing that.
I don't even think, to be honest, WWE, I don't even think is doing that. But okay. Let's keep on AEW for a minute. Listen, wrestling fans out there.
Yeah.
Stop complaining, okay? AEW said that they weren't going to be entertainment. They were just going to be wrestling.
Oh, yes, please.
It's sports entertainment at the end of the day. You need to be entertained to tune in the next week. It is how it's worked for the past how many years since Vince took over. That's how it's going to work for the next how many years. It was a great thing. Jericho and MJF put on a great
that was by far one of the best promos I've seen in a long time in AEW.
Hilarious.
Funny.
Good.
Yes. Great storytelling. Perfectly put together.
And then you're going to have the Jim Cornettes out there say that, oh, look at Jericho. He's a fat piece of shit. this completely ruined MJF's gimmick. No, it did not.
MJF, I don't think people realize how much MJF is his charisma. His charisma is incredible. Incredible, his charisma. The way he performs, the way he could put on a show, and the way he delivers is insane. So I'm tired of hearing. Listen, I might not be that big of an MJF fan. Personality-wise and his character, yeah. In the ring ability,
still got work, but
he got work to do. So that's why I'm not like a full fan, but he's good. But he still got work to do in that ring. So ring work, I'm not a fan. Overall, with his charisma and what he brings to AEW, that's great. I'm a fan.
And do you guys not understand what they're doing? They're putting him in place of Sammy Guevara. That's what they're doing. Yes. They're going to replace him, which is perfect.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. You put him in place of Sammy Guevara. Are you going to treat him like a Sammy Guevara? Because if you do,
no.
If you do, you're going to bury him.
I agree with that. If you do treat him just like a mule and just have him do whatever Jericho wants, it will kill his gimmick. That will kill his gimmick, not what he did. But at the same time, as much as I want to see MJF in the inner circle, MJF doesn't need the inner circle.
No.
Sammy Guevara needs the inner circle. There's a difference. Because
here's the problem is Sammy Guevara is so talented that people aren't realizing it. Okay, they're not letting him be.
He's
Sammy
talented,
Guevara.
but he's still young, and I think he still has that young mentality. So Jericho knows he's not ready. I think they don't want to set him up and have like an Orton on their hands.
Yes,
I'm big shit. I'm champion, and I'm 23 years old, or I'm 21 years, whatever. So I'm the big man and I don't got to listen to anybody. I just feel like if they would crown him champ, or they would give him a push that he does in a way deserve.
He deserves a push.
He would get so big-headed, we would have a problem on our hands in AEW with that. I feel like Chris Jericho obviously has a drinking problem. I don't know if you guys can tell, but he does. And I think that the last thing you need is more problems.
Do you really think, though, he has a drinking problem, or do you think that's just his gimmick?
I don't know. He's a rock and roller. He's
a rock and roller, but here's the thing is, from what I hear, Jericho's like that. He's really like a non-drinking guy.
Oh, well, maybe it's
in personal life. It's for his gimmick.
Maybe it is.
Because I know when they interviewed Jericho like years ago, he doesn't drink, smoke, or do drugs. So,
nice.
I think this is a gimmick. I think this is his version of an old school heel. Because they asked him like why he put on so much weight. Why does he look heavy the way he does? And he goes, if you remember back in the day, old school's heels were fat, overweight, slow, but they always won on some bullshit technicality. And I think that's where he's trying to go with this old school tactic mentality of a heel, which I kind of like. But for him,
it's slowing him down.
Yeah.
And in the ring anymore, he does not look good.
No. But
he's slower.
Like I said, the old school heels were slow in the ring.
Yeah, but Jericho was never like that. And I understand he is getting older, and I get that.
Yeah, he's like 51 or 52.
Yeah, he's up there. So I get why Frick did it, Sean did it. They all start selling more and doing other things other than wrestling the older they got. So I get it, but I feel like Jericho in the gym works more on, or worries more about his strength, if he can still lift people, than to worry about his
Endurance.
quickness, endurance. Because even anymore, you can tell like he's getting out of breath fast and like heavy breathing at the end. Like,
Yeah.
you might need some oxygen. Like, it's okay to be heavy and to take that on, but you need to keep your health into consideration too. All that weight and doing everything you're doing is not good on your heart.
Right.
And we don't know whether he is straight edge or he doesn't, and so whatever else he might do could put strain on it more. So I just feel like he can continue to make sure he's a powerhouse lifter and he can still pick up whoever he wants, but he does need to work on his endurance and sure he can fucking stay breathing during a 30-minute match.
Absolutely.
And not get out of breath 15 minutes in, and now Jericho's walking from corner to corner.
Yeah.
He's jogging, and I'm using that term very, very slightly. Very, because he is slow as fuck anymore. But, Sean,
Luch,
I want the people to know your top 5 SmackDown superstars. People, everyone watching, please turn up your devices because you're going to want to hear this shit.
I'm going to be writing them down. I'm actually going to be writing it down while I go through it because we revised lists while we were talking earlier.
Oh my god! Somebody did. I didn't touch mine. Sean did. So Sean, you go first.
How about we go this? I'll give my number 1. You give your number 1.
Right,
I give my number 2. You give your number 2. So my first all-time SmackDown. All-time SmackDown. We're going all-time SmackDown here.
And it starts.
And number 1, Chris Benoit.
My number 1 is Taker, but it is very hard to disagree with that one. Benoit did carry SmackDown for a while, and I do understand that last name in this industry that we're talking about is very frowned upon to mention. But we did what we wanted off the top rope, and we mentioned Benoit.
Number 2, JBL.
My number 2 is the one and only doctor of thugonomics, John Cena. He carried that brand for 3-4 years, 2 to 4 years.
Almost 5, maybe 5.
Yeah, maybe almost 5, but
2000 and 2005, I think.
He actually debuted SmackDown.
Yeah, on 2001, I think he left in 06.
So since he debuted, he kind of stayed there. And once he was the superstar name he is, then they moved him to the bigger brand, Raw. So, yeah, but JBL is a really good choice. He did carry SmackDown for a while.
My number 3, Kurt Angle.
Okay. Well, my number 3, I'm going with the one and only rest in peace Latino Heat. Viva la Raza, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, come on, man. That man is SmackDown. You mentioned SmackDown, you get Eddie.
Yep, you get Eddie. My number 4 is Viva la Raza, Eddie Guerrero.
My number 4 is Mr. 619, Rey Mysterio.
And my number 5 is Rey Mysterio.
My number 5 is John Bradshaw Layfield. The fact that JBL really did carry SmackDown for a while, he actually
the longest SmackDown champion in SmackDown history, by the way.
JBL, yeah. So you have the longest SmackDown champion, JBL, who put over a young kid named John Cena.
Put him on the map.
So, I mean, and to be honest, JBL put on a lot of people. So,
now,
what?
To discuss the list, if you noticed, I don't have John Cena or Undertaker on my list, folks.
See, me and you talked obviously before the show, and his reasoning for Taker, I kind of agree with at the end. but I have to keep Taker because I believe Dead Man Inc. Taker pretty much ran SmackDown at one
Yeah,
time.
yeah, like that 2 year run.
But if we're gonna be honest, it's kind of hard to mention SmackDown top 5. I know a lot of people is gonna say this without mentioning the
Rock
reason SmackDown is there,
is The
which is
Rock.
The Rock. And just because, yeah, he did make it and he stayed there for like a year two, but
Maybe longer than that.
the show is because of him.
But he was the superstar that needed to be on Raw.
But
The
he was
with
the
Triple
person
and same, people are going to say the same with Triple H. Triple H was on SmackDown, but Triple H was a Raw guy. He was a Raw guy, Triple H, and you know that.
Really wrestle.
Huh?
It's because his wrestling ability isn't
up there. So here's my folks. I know you probably want to hang me because I didn't mention John Cena or Undertaker in my SmackDown top 5. The reason being, Undertaker is Raw. Okay, when you think of the Undertaker, you don't think of really Dead Man Inc. You think of the Undertaker of Monday Night Raw.
When you think of Undertaker, you think of WWE.
You think of WWE. And now, even now, when I mention John Cena, you mention WWE. You don't mention SmackDown. People do, but people do when I say John Cena, that's a WWE guy. You know what I'm saying? So when you mentioned Cena, yes, Cena was the face that ran the place for 5 years. But the face that runs the place he also used it on Raw. So you can't he literally ran WWE for how many years? He's been in 16, 17 years.
I'm sorry.
Cena. 16, 17 years in the industry of WWE, all 17 years. 5 of those years were spent SmackDown. The other 12 was between Raw and SmackDown. He was jumping back and forth, but he was a Raw guy because of his name. Hence, when I mention a Chris Benoit, that's a wrestler. JBL, not your typical Raw guy, but he had wrestling ability if you watched him in the ring.
Yes.
Truth is, Undertaker is WWE in both shows.
I agree.
Cannot agree with that. I cannot agree with that. But when I'm talking top 5, I have to look at main SmackDown guys when I talk about top 5. Cena wasn't a main SmackDown guy for 5 years. Hold on. 5 years. 5 years of a SmackDown. Then Raw. Then SmackDown, then Raw, then SmackDown.
But you were going to put Edge in that. You were going to put Edge. That's the same thing.
I was going to put Edge, and then you really think about it, I took Edge out. Edge got his singles push in SmackDown. If it wasn't for SmackDown, we wouldn't know of Edge in a singles push. Burgess says, he missed the list. Can you say it over?
Go through yours, I'll go through mine.
My number 1, JR, was Chris Benoit. My number 2 is JBL. My number 3 is Kurt Angle. My number 4 is Eddie Guerrero. And my number 5 is Rey Mysterio.
And my top SmackDown guys was number 1 was Taker. Number 2 was Cena. Number 3 was Eddie. Number 4 was Rey. And number 5 was JBL.
And I don't know how you leave Angle out of that.
See, I seriously, last night I had a list of people. And I was just thinking who I had to put Cena for the simple fact is he debuted and he did carry the brand for a while. Kurt Angle kind of jumped, like you said, brand to brand to brand.
Angle didn't really jump brand to brand.
He stuck with SmackDown at the end.
He was always SmackDown.
He wasn't always. He was on Raw. You talking about?
When he first started.
So when you first started, so he wasn't even a SmackDown guy. Eddie started in SmackDown. Rey started in SmackDown. JBL okay, well, we're not going to talk JBL because he was around before.
He's never before.
Cena started in SmackDown. Them three started in SmackDown.
Yeah,
Benoit,
but here's the thing: is
number one
Angle.
started in SmackDown.
Here's the
sorry.
thing with
No, he didn't.
here's the thing with Angle though. Angle was on Raw. JBL got to go. Can't leave Cena. Angle out.
Booker
Was
T's a
Booker T.
good one.
Booker T was a good one, but Booker T with the name was a Raw person because of his name, the big name.
The big name.
His name coming from WCW to Raw. That
you can say then. By that point, then we should take Eddie out and Ray.
But they went to SmackDown.
But they were big names.
Booker T went straight to Raw.
He did.
And Eddie and Ray were big names, but they weren't as big as names as Booker T and all that.
Yeah, that's true. But
because if you remember when Latino Heat came out first, when Eddie Guerrero came out, he didn't get that big of a pop over response. Like everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" Like, people like the announcers had to explain who he was. You know,
yeah.
JB, I don't know why he's saying JBL. JBL can't go. Longest SmackDown champion
ever.
So you can't pull JBL out.
Yeah.
You can't leave Angle out. I agree. And Booker was Booker T. Yeah. But
see, Angle was a big name, a huge name,
but not big enough for that Raw stardom. I mean, he did have it with but here's the thing. Angle is two different generations. He's the Attitude Era and he's the Ruthless Aggression Era. And he was more known for Ruthless Aggression Era than that Attitude Era. He started his name in the Attitude. The Ruthless Aggression Era really carried him, and that's when he was on SmackDown. So hence why I say Angle in my top 5. Because with the Attitude Era, Attitude was just like the Stone Colds, the Rock, the Triple H.
He's just hating. He just don't like JBL.
Oh, that's true. I really know. Okay. He's just hating.
Hey man, that's how it will be sometimes.
That's how it would be.
I still don't like Batista.
I know. No, I don't like Batista.
Hate him.
I can't stand him.
But okay, Sean, listen. Miss Sasha Banks, okay? So
women's we're going all around women's wrestling.
Well, Sean shared a photo that said you have to fire, rehire, and I believe retire somebody.
Yes.
And I off the top, I know the reasoning to fire was Bayley, Becky, Sasha. This is where the controversy came, people. Because Sean, for some reason, thinks Sasha is some like wrestling god. So why are you picking Sasha Banks over Becky Lynch?
Without Sasha Banks, there'd be no Becky Lynch.
They both came up in NXT together.
Yeah, but who was the bigger pop in NXT?
Charlotte.
Between the two, Sasha and Becky, who was the bigger pop?
Sasha. Sasha was the bigger pop,
and Becky was that character that she wasn't really getting over. Sasha got her over with
Sasha
the matches.
Also now is watered down tremendously.
And that's not her fault.
Nah,
it's not her fault.
Not fully.
It's not her fault at all.
I think she could sit down.
She could. Dude, I think she does need to sit down with Vince. But here's the thing. Here comes my other problem. She ain't.
Vince doesn't take women wrestling serious.
Right. But there's another piece of the pie there with Sasha.
What?
She ain't your typical great women's wrestler color.
Dude, she Okay, listen. Okay, everyone. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but you could barely tell she is African American.
You know she is. Come on.
She looks, Sean. She's lighter than you,
No, she's not. She's darker than me.
bro. She looks. She does not look. She looks tan. In no way does she look light skin to me.
But you
To
know
me,
she.
she don't
You know
look light
she's. You know she. They know she's black.
Listen, okay, yeah, people know she's black, Latino,
Like
whatever.
you're telling me Vince doesn't know?
Okay, dude, of course Vince knows she's black, but what I'm saying is,
As Courtney said in our last show, when have you really seen black women wrestlers really get the push they deserve?
Jacqueline got an okay push.
Recently.
No one.
No.
No one.
Hence watered down Sasha Banks.
I mean, to be honest, if we're gonna, there's never been really any big push for African Americans in professional wrestling
Ever.
and I hate to say it because it's bullshit. Because some of the best athletes wrestling has are African American.
Yes.
Take into consideration my man today, Montez Ford, one of the best physical athletes in WWE right now.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, being in a tag team is watering him down. And if they continue this for a lot longer, he will never be able to do a singles run.
Here's the thing, though, is Montez with his partner, their chemistry is fire.
No, yes, they are a great tag team, but the difference Montez Ford could do singles. Dawkins, I don't see can be a singles.
No.
In a single, which is why they're going to keep them together, which is why Ford will never, ever, ever get to show his true potential in WWE.
Yeah, it's true.
Because his own wife gets watered down.
Yes.
And she just started.
Yeah.
On main roster. So, yeah.
But how we got off all this subject, back to the women's.
Okay. What?
Well, Sasha over Becky.
I'm picking Becky over Sasha.
Why? Because of how she is now the man? Come on.
The name, Sean, the name. You mentioned Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Any kid, if you put up a Becky Lynch shirt and a Sasha Banks shirt to a child that watches wrestling today, they're gonna
grab both of them.
Nah, they're grabbing Becky's. Becky knows.
This guy.
Becky knows she has not been watered down, and you know why? I think because she cares all about her gimmick and actually takes the time. And
you know what? Here's another thing. One, she does care about her gimmick. I will say that.
Yes,
I will. But there's a little thing. She has a one up, and she's carrying Seth Rollins' baby, who is in good talks with Triple H and Vince McMahon.
Who? Seth Rollins? So you're saying that she is the man she is? She got so far in WWE because of Seth? That's what you're saying?
She got things handed her because of who she's with also.
Sean.
Hold on. Sean. She has worked hard for everything she's got. Don't get me wrong. She did everything that she had to do to make her name, okay? But I mean, from that point on, you even said you were getting tired of Becky Lynch carrying the title.
Yeah, as carrying the title, not Becky Lynch as a gimmick.
You were getting tired of carrying the title, and that's also kind of getting tired of the gimmick because you're like, oh my God, how many more times do we have to see Becky Lynch with this gimmick win the title?
I didn't care about
that's
her.
That's where Seth Rollins comes in with the little birdie in the ear of Triple H. And
I didn't care about the gimmick. I like the man gimmick. I think it's dope. What I thought is just like they built so many people up to beat her, but they never did. And the only reason I thought she should lose is because she's not a China. She's not some amazingly built woman that could
and honestly, I'm gonna get hung by our viewers, but she ain't that really good of a wrestler. Ring work wise, she's a fighter.
Sean, she knows the ropes. She knows her way around the
She
ring.
knows a little bit, but
A little bit.
She can use some work. She can use some work.
Aspect, Sean.
She can use some work.
In what aspect?
In what aspect? Listen,
Yes.
It's the same moveset almost every time you work with her.
How many wrestlers got the same moveset, Sean?
She's a good ass wrestler.
Cena, Flair, how many people? Flair had a tremendous amount of skill, but only really used a good few fucking moves.
But here's the thing: is Becky? She's good, but I don't know. There's something about her. It's almost like she has it, but she doesn't. Like she captures me in the ring. Like if I want to see a match, like the thing I don't like. Okay, when I think of a match, a title match, all right. If I go, hey, who do you want to see in a title match, right?
Charlotte.
I want to see maybe Charlotte and Sasha go at it. That would be a great match.
Seen it.
But you loved it because it.
I mean,
it. Yeah. If I want to see a Becky match, I probably want to see her against like a Shayna Baszler.
I don't know. Hey, Malik, I have no clue what he's talking about. Listen, Becky Lynch is a skilled wrestler. Okay, if you want to talk about someone that needs work in the ring, okay, we can talk Lana. Okay, we can talk Nia Jax. Okay, we can talk other wrestlers, Carmella. We can talk about a shit ton of wrestlers. One name you're not going to mention is fucking Becky Lynch. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Listen, maybe I'm downplaying her. Listen. Maybe I'm downplaying her a little too much. All right. Maybe I am. Listen, she is a skilled wrestler. Just she doesn't do it for me all the time in the ring. Every time she gets in there, she just doesn't do it for me all the time.
I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I know. Terry, I know, bro. I know. I need it bad. I need it bad. Don't look. I was about to wear a hoodie.
Has she peeled? Not at all. Has she
peaked?
Peaked.
Not at all, but she's known the ropes well. What do you mean? She peaked, my man. She's
peaked.
She's not like, I'm not gonna lie. She's not a Charlotte in the ring.
No, I mean, she's
not a Charlotte, but to be honest, her and Sasha, right? Sasha could use some work too.
Sasha could use some work. I won't lie on that one.
Sasha could
use some work.
Like at the end,
if you think about it, all the women in the business could use some work on the ring too.
Sean,
besides, like,
Sean,
listen, every
don't sound like a dick.
Every women wrestler, every men wrestler, everybody in the wrestling business can use somewhere along work in the ring, somewhere or another. Am I right?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, if I'm
going to done learning,
you're never going to stop learning. Okay, if I'm looking at top wrestling women who are top wrestlers, I would go. My first two picks would be Charlotte and Natalya, the two top skilled wrestlers in the ring.
Today, I would have to say Charlotte.
You can't put Becky over Natalya.
No. But see, Natalya, like, she's skilled. It's just,
skilled. She
just doesn't do it for me.
And that's how I am with Becky. Like Becky's skilled, but she doesn't do it for me all the time.
There's something about her that just makes me want to like punch my TV. Like Natalya it's just like, I don't know if she's been around too long. I don't know if it's just like the not changing of the gimmicks with a gimmick, but I feel like if we're gonna talk skill of today's females, I'm gonna go with Charlotte, and then I have to go with Hikaru Shirai.
Ooh. Over Natalia?
Yeah.
She'd probably be my number 3.
Hikaru, maybe Amber.
Amber would be like 3
Maybe.
with Hikaru. I mean, Becky Lynch is obviously top 5, whether she's 4 or 5. She's top 5 as skilled wrestler.
Who? Sorry.
Becky Lynch.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she'd probably fall in that 4 or 5 category for me.
Okay. So
because you have to put Bailey in there. So
oh yeah, you have to, especially with the new gimmick.
Yeah.
Underappreciated wrestlers.
Cesaro.
See, I got a few. I got Shelton Benjamin.
Yes, thank you.
I got Ziggler.
Yeah, but no, you can't say he's underappreciated. You can't. They put world title on him. Don't say he's underappreciated. You put a belt on him, and he didn't deliver.
Okay, debatable. Steamboat. We're gonna go old school with this one.
Yeah, you could put Steamboat in there, but they put a title on him, and they made him one of the best Intercontinental champions.
And still underappreciated.
Underappreciated in the sense of a major title run, of a heavyweight title run, but the best mid Carter you could say.
I also have Cesaro.
Yes,
and for me, this might cause a little controversy. Santino Marella. Listen.
Yeah.
Before you say anything.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Skilled beyond belief in that ring. If you watch when he was like out, when he left WWE and he was doing some indie stuff, oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Listen, and I truly believe this. WWE gives these bullshit gimmicks to great wrestlers.
Yes.
To water them down so they don't take the name or the hype away from the man, whoever they have at that moment. Roman of today, Drew McIntyre, whoever it may be. They water skilled wrestler Cesaro, Shinsuke, all of them down because they don't want us fans, even though we still do it, put their names with the Roman Reigns and the Brock Lesnar's because they don't want them, because they don't think that would sell. In reality, that's what we want. You give me Cesaro versus fucking the Beast Brock Lesnar.
Oh my God, take my money.
Give me the Beast versus Cesaro and let Cesaro show that he's a fucking powerhouse. And I mean, go off. You have to let.
But here's the thing with Brock. You put him against Brock. Brock's got to let Cesaro be that powerhouse.
He would.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. From what I heard, Brock Lesnar, if he doesn't want to work with you, he's not going to sell for you.
Kind of a little Roman in a way.
Yeah. He won't sell for you. Like, here's the thing is they literally said they've gone to Brock Lesnar and be like, hey, you're going to work with so-and-so tonight. I don't really want to work with him. Listen, just go in there, beat him up, do your thing, sell a little bit. If you looked at it, Heath Slater, when they put him in that spot with Heath Slater, they made Heath Slater look like a joke.
Which is another one. You could say he was very under.
He was under. When they put Brock Lesnar on when they put Paul Heyman on Miz TV, and Brock Lesnar came out and like destroyed the Miz and all them when he. But that's like saying, okay, he could have sold for the Miz, but he decided not to. He was like, well, no, I'm not going to sell.
Well, you know what? Like, and I get it. Brock is a big name, right? But Vince runs the fucking company.
Yeah, but Brock has him by the balls.
I
And you know that.
I know that.
You know, if Brock walks in that office, he's going to get whatever he wants.
I know, and that is where I just don't agree, and I just can't.
Just like if The Rock walks into Vince's office, he'll get whatever he wants. Stone Cold walks into Vince's office.
You think
The Rock? If The Rock walks into Vince's office, he'll get whatever he wants.
So if he walked in Vince's office today, said, "I want Roman at Mania for that belt, and I want him to drop it, and I'm the tribal chief," you think he's going to go for that? I don't.
Yeah, he might.
Don't. No,
might.
If you do that, you're burying that whole gimmick. You're burying Roman, and you're burying the fact that he should be the next man.
Yeah, I mean, but then you could have a storyline with it. So, but that's if The Rock says, "Hey, Vince, I'm coming back full time. This is what I want to do."
Wait,
you know damn well Vince is gonna be like, "Okay."
If he comes back full time, it's acceptable. It's acceptable. But one thing, Roman, you're cut. Your kids are cut. Your kids are cut. If you guys watched Raw, that was an amazing promo. All together with SmackDown with Jimmy, Jay, with the whole making them think Jay was on the screen when it was Jimmy, and then Jay was behind them, making Jay look like he has a little bit of just he could win, maybe. That's what I want.
You're out. Your wife is out. Like
your kids are out.
Kids are out.
Kids. You are out of the family. And if I don't know if anyone noticed, Jey Uso said, "Who are you to make that decision?" So what I'm thinking with him saying that, which is going to lead to The Rock coming back to say, "Listen, who was your father?" "Oh yeah, just a wild, stupid Samoan. My father was the High Chief, Peter Maivia. I'm the chief because he was your dad wasn't a chief. He was just some wacko with long hair that just ran around. My dad carried the family." Bang.
Oh yeah.
Take my money, Vince, and set it up. Book it.
An island tribal chief match.
And you have to do it on a beach and have them come out.
Do it in Hawaii. I don't care.
Have them come out in the Samoan gear with like the Samoan. I know it's not a skirt, but like the Samoan. I don't know what they call it.
Samoan dress.
Samoan dress. With the lays or
the war paint
or whatever. The paint, and they do the war dance and the war chants, and then they go at it. You give me that, you can fuck up the rest of the pay-per-views for the rest of the year. You give me that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be happy.
Absolutely.
Give me that one match. You can shit. You could just give me anybody for the rest of the year on pay-per-views. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing match.
Yeah, but back to with the underappreciated, my other underappreciated guy is Big E.
Yes. I hate to say it. I think he made a joke of his. I think it's too late. I'm sorry. It's too late. His career in WWE is, and this is not in no disrespectful way, is a joke because of the New Day.
Oh, you're finally admitting it right now.
I hate to say it, I love the New Day, and I don't think that they were stupid, but I do know that.
So now you're getting my point of why. Wait a minute. Now you're understanding my point of with Kofi Kingston.
No, I still don't understand that point.
Oh my God.
I still don't understand.
Just everything you just said about New Day.
But Kofi wasn't that. Big E damn near he didn't start as New Day. He started as Dolph Ziggler's heavy, but that didn't last too long. And then he went to New Day. So pretty much his career has been New Day.
Yeah.
Which is pancake.
But Kofi was seen as a joke. Kofi was seen as a joking Jamaican.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be Jamaican?
Yeah. So
But
kind of like if you think of it,
at the same time, Sean, he's an athlete. Big E's an athlete too. He's an athlete. But I just like when you start with that career, right? With a joke of a career, in a way, you could say, it's hard to come out. It's hard. It's hard.
And Kofi was only heel during the New Day when they first started out.
Oh, and to be honest, in my opinion, WWE fucked up by making New Day face as fast as they did.
Yes.
They should have carried out the heel a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think, Big E is very underappreciated. But everyone wanting Big E to be this next big guy, I want it. I just don't see it. Yeah. If he could tap into who he was with Dolph and just be a powerhouse, maybe.
Remember in NXT, the 5 count?
Oh, yeah. So maybe he could do it. But what would have solidified him being that big bad guy would have been not yesterday.
Turning his back on his brothers.
Yes. That they had the opportunity to make him look like a fucking animal. A beast. He could have wrecked them too. Wrecked them. He could have definitely wrecked Kofi. The only one that could put up a fight maybe Xavier, because he's a pretty big dude. He's built pretty good.
Yeah.
So maybe, but still have Biggie just demolish them and tell him, I'm tired of losing. And you two are the reason I was losing.
Yeah.
And did they do it?
Nope.
No. Will Big E turn heel? Probably not.
No, he won't.
He's going to be a face and try to be a powerhouse. In my opinion, them two don't work together. Unless you're
Braun Strowman is a prime example. Face powerhouse didn't work.
Who?
Braun Strowman. He was a face at one time. He was a face, Braun Strowman, and a powerhouse. It didn't work for him.
Yeah. Yeah. The only person it works for is John Cena. Only person. Yeah. This the only Backlund too. Sorry. Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund.
That's the only two. And Bruno. Sorry.
Hulk Hogan was a powerhouse and face and it worked for him.
Okay, yeah.
Ultimate Warrior.
Okay, yeah. One thing. Brought this up to my wife the other day, my couple of my buddies. Would you like to see Cena return? But return as a heel, kind of like what Hogan did. Because he's been a face his whole career almost. So it would be like a Hogan in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that Cena should come and start an NWO in no fucking means necessary. I do not want to see that, and I do not want that. But you put him in a heel position.
But with who?
With who? No one. No one. You have him come back, right? And just tell people, listen, I'm back. And this isn't the Cena, the little fruity pebble one that was with Rock. You know why I'm here? Ruthless aggression. And have him be I'm not saying bring back the era in no means. But bring back that Cena
They tried that.
He will come back.
They tried that when he came back and he's talking to Vince. He says, give me another chance, Vince. I won't let you down because I have ruthless aggression. And then shit didn't work out.
Okay, but guess what? Fuck that. This is now.
Too many fans have love for Cena. He can't get anybody mad at them, no matter what he does.
Listen.
I mean, he literally would have to listen. He would literally have to say, come out his promo.
He could do it.
he would literally have to shit on Make-A-Wish Foundation.
No, Sean, listen, that's too far. Listen, that's too far.
But people love him way too much for him to go heel.
Sean, if you go that far, you're a piece of shit. Listen, simple fact is he could just shit on wrestling fans, us, me, because I'm a supporter of his. Shit on us. Do not, bro. I swear
That's literally like almost shitting on the Make-A-Wish kids. If you shit on his fans, most of his fans are Make-A-Wish kids. You're literally shitting on the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Kinda, but
so how am I a piece of shit for saying some shit like that?
You have to either attack the fans that are there, his fans, or I could not see him. I might like actually hate Cena if he would do that. Like,
yeah,
bro, I'm not lying. Like that would make me have turn feelings for Cena. Like if you shit on Make-A-Wish, that's fucked up. But
I mean, if he came out and said some shit like he came out and he'd be like, "You fans, all of you've done for me, you haven't done anything for me. The reason I'm gone is because of you.
Exactly.
Make-A-Wish has nothing but made me soft." Like,
yeah, I mean, and he could. Okay, you could say that and still be okay. That's acceptable. That's not shitting on Make-A-Wish. That's just saying
shitting on Make-A-Wish. You made me soft.
Shitting on Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish. That's like just saying like, hey, I seen a lot of fucked up kids and it like softened my heart. Sorry, like that's saying that's pretty much making them look like a teddy bear. But like, I think that if
you the fans who supported me, you have made me nothing but soft. And not grown to my full potential or some shit like that.
My buddy said that he thinks it's going to happen. And to be honest, he thinks that is not only going to happen, he's going to form like an NWO with people.
Oh, God, Jesus.
Because he thinks that the Firefly Funhouse predicted it. That's what he thinks. And I mean, because if you noticed on this week's Firefly Funhouse, he brought out that stick that Randy lit to light the whole thing on fire during their match.
Yeah.
The Wyatt compound.
Right.
He brought that out, which might mean Randy wins on Sunday and starts a feud between The Fiend and Randy.
Okay.
I would accept that.
But I thought you wouldn't accept that Randy becomes champion.
If The Fiend is in the picture, I accept it.
Okay.
The Fiend, because if you put The Fiend versus... Okay, another thing. One big thing. They took a huge shit on Monday on Retribution's gimmick. A huge shit.
Yeah.
They literally had Hurt Business beat them and then have one man beat them all. One beat four men.
Hold on. We're talking The Fiend.
It doesn't matter,
well,
Sean.
Hold on. No.
Retribution.
Whoa. Remember, I remember a show where you said you got to make The Fiend look powerful. You're shitting on The Fiend. Well, now they're making the Fiend look powerful.
But okay, you make The Fiend look powerful without shitting on one of your bigger factions in.
Is it really that big of a faction?
It was before they fucked up the masks.
Listen, they fucked it up by making Mustafa Ali as the leader. All right.
They fucked it up by taking the stupid ski masks off and putting on Bane and putting on that paper plate and putting on everything else that they've been doing. That shit is so stupid.
It is stupid.
So dumb. Because at least with the ski masks, we didn't know. We could guess who they were. Right. You thought the one guy was Miz.
Yeah, you did at first, yeah.
But the minute he takes the hoodie off and there's tattoos, you know it's not the Miz.
Miz, yeah.
So why? Why do that? Keep us guessing. Keep us thinking.
Listen, Retribution reminds me of who is that? That cheerleading squad.
Spirit Squad.
Because they're getting shit on. Because they're getting shit on.
Hey, shout out
Remember?
to Dolph Ziggler.
But remember, they got shit on.
Oh, literally, they got shit
Literally.
on by DX. Literally, got
Two
a
men
body-
beat 5 guys.
Okay, yeah, but like, oh, they built it up. I was a fan of Retribution.
I was getting into it. I was like, all right, let's see where they're going with this. I like this.
The guy brought out a fucking chainsaw.
Yeah.
I was on it. They had me.
Yeah.
And then they changed their whole outfit. And they stopped using like voiceovers. So now we know exactly who they are. Like, we all knew the one was Mia Yim. We all knew that.
Yeah, we all knew that.
But the other ones we didn't know until now. Now we know the one's Dominic, or not Dominic.
Dominic.
The one's Dominic. The other one is like, I forget.
E-Bar.
Who's the one with the dreads? What's his name?
I don't know who that is.
I forget his wrestling name.
Yeah, I forget his wrestling name too.
T-Bone or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, Sean. Them fucking names. Oh, the fucking names.
Yeah, the names are horrible.
Oh my god. Why? T-Bar and like who was the guy that looks like Miz? What's his name?
I forget his name.
His name's some stupid.
Yeah.
They just have stupid names for a stupid gimmick. Well, they made it a stupid gimmick. It was good at first.
Yeah.
And you had that. You had that, oh my God, who are these people?
Right.
You had, to be honest, you had us guessing that it was old stars.
Yeah, I thought it was like fucking old WWE guys.
I was thinking like, oh my God, this is like,
maybe Wade Barrett came back. What the fuck? You're like,
I was like, bro, I just didn't know. But now this whole gimmick thing is just out of hand.
Yeah.
And it's, oh my God. I don't see this going anywhere. I see Retribution staying until about Summer Survivor Series, and we're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
So it is about that time we wrap up the show, brother.
All right.
So first off, I want to thank everybody at Loudmouth Off the Top Rope who supports us. Am I right? 100%. All of our fans, except one fan. One fan who supports the show. He supports Loudmouth. He supports everything. But for some unknown godly reason, he has a problem in making an appearance when we ask him to. That's right. I'm talking to you, Matt Light. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Matt Light. See, Matt Light, let me give you a little history of Matt Light. He comes on the Round Table show, all right? Shows it has a big Shawn Michaels thing in the background. If you go back and watch the show, folks, it's on YouTube. It's on our page. Me and him start talking wrestling for a good 10 minutes before the other guys cut us off and like, hey, we got to talk about other stuff. Matt, have him on the Sean, have Matt on the show. Matt goes, yeah, absolutely, love to be on your show. Luch, how many times you reach out to Matt? Like
3, 4.
Same here.
That's
What's
8.
wrong? What's wrong, Matt? Can't come on the show. We had you scheduled.
You went to Pool City.
You went to Pool City. Forgot about scheduled you Monday. They had nothing for you on Saturday. I'm sorry. I forgot. Being 4-time back to back comedian, best comedian in Pittsburgh. What are you, too good for us now? What do you need? Money? What is it? What is it? What is it, Matt? What is it? Are you scared? Or you know what it is? You know what I think it is, Matt? You don't want to come on here because you don't know wrestling like you say you do. That's it, right? Right, Luch? I think it's because he doesn't know wrestling. And the only reason that he wants to be on the show is so he could talk about Shawn Michaels.
He does say he's Shawn Michaels' son.
And he rides Shawn Michaels' cocktail too fucking much. That's why.
Hey, Courtney. Hey, Court, last week, bro, what was that?
But you know what? But
Shit.
if you actually come to think about it, Matt does ride Shawn Michaels' coattail a lot. I mean, I've seen some of his videos. He does the whole super kick on the one guy. He thinks he says he's the Steel City heel. Well, guess what? Steel City heel. I'm calling you out to a promo war. Steel City heel. You think you got wordplay because you're a comedian? You're a comedian. That's all you are. You make jokes. This is promo wars. This is about making a promo. So you want to come on my show? Why don't you come on my show, Matt Light, and truly show me you're a true Steel City heel? Because if you are the true Steel City heel, I'm going to take that title from you. You know why? Because I am the true champ of Off the Top Rope. That's my call out to Matt Light.
Wow. Well, okay. Matt, I hope you hear this. I hope somehow. I know you'll hear this. And I know you'll get to it.
Oh, don't worry, because when I share this video, Matt, I'm gonna tag you in it. So make sure you have to watch the whole show just to hear me call you out.
Well, Matt, the challenge is on the table. You do what you want with that. You can take it and come on next Saturday, face Shawn, or
You could be the true little bitch you are and stay off my show and just jump in the jump in the river every time the Steelers win.
hey, Matt, I gotta say something about that, brother. You're gonna catch a disease, brother, doing that shit. You gotta stay out
Unless
that
he
river.
already has one.
You gotta stay out that river. That river dirty, brother. You ever see the color of that shit? You're foul for jumping in that shit for real. That's nasty. That's foul. You ever see the water, Sean? That shit's green.
It is green. It's all right though. We all know Matt's dirty anyways, so
Matt, you gotta come and put him in his place. Matt.
and I'm not talking jokes, Matt. You could joke all you want. We'll laugh with you. When it comes down to a promo, kid, you don't got nothing.
Oh, Matt, you better come prepared. I'll be the judge of this promo war. You guys both better come prepared, not just Matt. Sean, you better come prepared too.
I will. I've been studying
Sean.
some of his videos.
Yeah, you better come prepared. Because if he starts busting jokes, he might win just off of funniness.
He'll win off funniness probably because he got jokes. That's all he got going for him. I've watched his videos. His videos are funny, dude. But most of the time, I'm like, when it's over, I'm like, damn, it's over? Shit. Like, I'm waking up from it. Like, you know.
All right. Well, the offer's on the table, Matt. You do what you want with it, brother. You do.
Anybody you have a problem with, Luch?
I mean,
most of the fans I have a problem with because, they think they all know promos. So, they think they could tell me what I know and don't know about wrestling.
I mean, my one boy, James, come on, man. You gotta come on the show one week, man. You've been telling me since I started on Loudmouth, you was gonna come on and be on, and he know wrestling, so I would love to have James on. James, you gotta come on. And me and you gotta go at it with promo wars too. You my brother, so we'll be all right. We'll be good. But you gotta come on, James. Come on, man. Gotta get you on here. And Matt, we definitely gotta get you on here because now I gotta see what you and Sean gonna do to each other. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Don't you have a problem with Matt?
Listen, if he wants a problem, he can get one. Like I'm always ready for a promo war, baby. Always. I'm always ready.
Oh, and there's one more fan who watches our show that needs to come back on because we both got a problem with you.
Which one?
Navarro.
Who's that?
Or whatever his name is, the one that works at Planet Fitness that carries a fake title around that he bought online.
Danny.
that wants to take over our show every time he wants to come on.
Danny. We gotta have you on. You gotta cut a promo too. Danny, you gotta cut a promo.
He probably can't cut a promo anyways.
Yeah, probably not. It's like he wants to be a face, but he's a heel. It's a weird thing.
He just wants to be like he just a wannabe. It's not even a face or heel. He just wants to be us. He can't.
Listen, we're gonna put the real challenge out there, okay? Next week, anyone can come on, Matt, James, and challenge us at Promo Wars. But the next week, we need people to message either me or Sean. If Matt, you really think you know wrestling, well, put it to the test.
Put your money where your mouth is.
In Ringinology, 2 weeks from today, Ringinology. If you guys think you know wrestling like me and Sean, come on the show. Would love to test it. Love to test it. Ringinology, 2 weeks from today. Next week, Promo Wars for anybody and everybody who wants the smoke.
Because we want the smoke. Matt,
It.
I'm talking to you.
You fucked it up, Sean. It's because we are up and we want the smoke.
Oh, because we are up and we want the smoke. Whatever it is, Matt, I'm talking to you.
I would love it.
How do you tipping and dodging me, Matt?
Is this Matt watching?
I hope it is.
Matt, who's watching? Just comment your name.
Please let it be Matt.
Please.
You dipping and dodging my messenger messages to you.
My messenger
message you almost every week. Hey, bro, you want to be on the show 4 p.m.? Nothing.
I even commented, what are you doing next Saturday at 4 p.m.? Not even a like. Not even a I'm busy. It's fucked up, man. We're from Pittsburgh. You got to show some love. Got to show some love. Pittsburgh got to show love to Pittsburgh, man. What's up with you?
He's too worried about the Steeler games.
From what I'm seeing, you guys don't have to worry too much about that.
Ooh.
From what I'm seeing, you guys don't have to worry too much. This ain't the sport. This ain't football show, though. We don't talk football. We don't talk football. Because I really don't know football, if I'm going to keep it a big. I don't know any other sports. I know wrestling. That's it. Sorry.
And I'll put out another challenge just besides Matt, too.
Sean, you're going to get killed. You putting out more challenges than you can take.
Please. I just want George Frisch wants to try to fire me from last week.
Boss.
I want the boss.
Boss. You gotta come. Boss. I'll write the promo for you, boss. Don't you worry.
Because you're going to need it.
I go. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I want to see. Actually, I like to see George and Courtney go at each other in a promo war.
Oh, that'd be great. Courtney would win. My boy Courtney would win.
Hey, George, you hear that shit?
I just want to know who's watching because there's like 4 people watching.
4 people and no one commenting.
No one commenting. Who's watching? Please let us know who's watching. Please let it be Matt Light. If it's Matt Light watching, I will bring you on the show now and end you.
George, boss, get on. Boss, get on. Oh, my God. That was hilarious. I did not expect that whatsoever. Oh, my God.
Let's see if the boss is truly watching.
I don't think he's online. No, he's not online. Nope. But two people, I don't know. It's probably definitely my wife.
Yeah, definitely
one of them.
Oh, it's one of the boss. It's a boss.
Court, is that you? Let us know. We'd love to see you versus George.
Shit, I'm one of the two.
All right, my boy Larry. Courtney, George. Who got the loudest mouth in loudmouth between you two?
Oh, that's Courtney, definitely.
Who got the loudest mouth in loudmouth between Courtney and Frisch? Who got the loudest mouth in loudmouth with the Hammer Brothers? We want to see.
I'm calling the Hammer Brothers. I got something for you later. I got something for Hammer Brothers later.
They didn't even do nothing to you.
They got you to come back.
Oh, that is true. Hammer Bros. Because we bring the hammer down on you. Hey, bro. I'm not going to lie. That shit had me rolling. Bro, when he ripped off that leather jacket and said, we're going to bring the hammer down on you.
I wonder how many takes it took for them to do it together.
What, bro, you know Robbie is just, I bet one. Robbie's one.
It had to take two because Dame almost like screwed that up in the end there, taking that jacket off.
Hammer Brothers, bring the hammer down on you. Sounded perfectly Italian. It was perfect. Oh my God. Oh yeah. God, that shit was great.
I'll give the Hammer Brothers credit. That was a great promo.
Short, sweet, and to the point. You got a problem with Luciano, you got a problem with the Hammer Brothers.
Like, you got a problem with
Hey, bro, I was rolling. Oh my God. But before we leave, we do need to do our predictions for Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
So it looks like our first match, let's just go with the ones we know off the top. I know we're going to have, obviously, an I Quit match between Roman and Jay. Obviously, I'm going to go with Roman. It's not that hard.
Roman. I don't think they're going to put the title on Jay. No.
I do think that this is going to be one not for children.
No.
I do think definitely.
Yes.
And they are going to allow a lot of words to be exchanged between these two in the ring.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some F-bomb dropped and yeah.
See, with all of that, I'm not too sure with the whole F-bomb thing.
But you're going to hear some cussing. You're going to hear some cussing.
I agree. Then we have WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton.
I'm going with Orton this time. This is Orton's match. This is Orton's domain.
Because of what happened on Firefly Funhouse, I'm actually going to say Randy. Do I believe Drew should have the title a little longer? Yeah. But he can always get it back. And to be honest, Drew, I would not mind to see Drew go over and maybe challenge Roman. That would be a good match.
That would be a good match.
Then we have the one I'm kind of looking forward to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha Banks versus Bayley.
In the Hell in a Cell?
In the Hell.
This is where I think Sasha Banks is going to
beat the living shit.
And bring back Sasha Banks that we know.
Okay. All right. Maybe. This one was kind of like a throw-in. Don't know why, but we have Jeff Hardy versus Elias. I'm going with Elias.
I'm going with Elias.
And from what I'm reading, he's going to be getting a huge push. Huge. Then for go back to SmackDown just real fast. The Court. Law Notice. Again, comical, funny, but you also got the point across.
Yes.
I love the end when he opened the briefcase and you heard cha-ching. That was just, oh my God.
That's classic.
And then you had Teddy Long, bruh. Like when Teddy Long, I geeked. I'm not going to lie. Bro, I freaked. I marked out for Teddy Long.
Listen, they had Teddy Long because Teddy Long is really good friends with both Ron Simmons and JBL.
If you want to talk SmackDown, that man is SmackDown.
That man is SmackDown. Holla, holla, playa.
you're you're gonna be having a one-on-one match with the Undertaker, player. The Miz versus Otis. Winner takes Money in the Bank.
I'm going with the Miz.
Briefcase.
I'm going with the Miz because from what I'm hearing is the Miz is supposed to be getting a push too. So I would like to see the Miz get Money in the Bank.
Who does he cash in on? You can't let him cash in on Roman.
No.
And
Maybe
if you cash in on Randy, you pretty much again shit on his gimmick. And again, and again, it just happens.
But you get the Miz and Morrison away from each other. You're able to break them up that way.
To be honest, I would rather see the belt on Morrison.
Yeah.
Why not? He hasn't had it. He's
never had a shot for it.
And to be honest, he could be a champ. Like,
here's the thing with Randy, though.
No.
Here's the thing is if the Miz cashes in on Randy, there's already a history there. Because that would mean the Miz has Randy's number.
I guess. But like I'm sticking with Otis. I really am.
Who's Otis gonna cash in on?
He's gonna cash in on a fucking lunch meal, okay? Like, he's gonna cash in on something stupid, Sean. There's no way in fucking hell Otis is champion.
No.
Material. Oh yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Then we had wait, what? When the fuck?
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio versus
Seth versus Murphy. Was I like, okay, well, we have Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins versus Murphy. It's not inside a Hell in a Cell, but oh fuck, I don't even know where to go with this one. Seth, I guess.
I'll go with Murphy. I think Aaliyah gets involved.
Not bad. Or have Aaliyah get involved to screw Dominic, and Murphy and Aaliyah were all along disciples. There we go. I'll take it. Kevin Owens versus Aleister Black. And go.
How many times do we have to see that match?
I don't know. I don't give a shit.
I'll go with Kevin Owens.
I'm going with Aleister Black because I just don't. And that's it, guys. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. That's the card for you. Is it a huge card?
No. And I don't think it needs to be that big of a huge card.
I mean, the three ones that stick out.
Well, I think there's going to be a championship match, right? Tag team? No tag team match?
I didn't see anything.
Interesting.
I didn't see anything. And to be honest, they haven't been building any tag team thing up. So,
well, there was that. Well, I did say SmackDown did have like Daniel Bryan on the KO show and KO like trying to get Daniel Bryan to be his tag team partner.
Well, yeah, and then Talking Smack DB said this is his final year.
Yeah, as a full-time wrestler.
Yeah.
And I think that should be good for him. I think he should go to part-time. I think it's about that time for him.
I don't know exactly who, but somebody commented on a post I shared and said that they see him like a Brock Lesnar bringing in names. And I respect Daniel Bryan, but he's not as he does not have a name.
No, not like Brock Lesnar.
Sorry. Now, will Daniel Bryan's name bring real wrestling fans? That's a different conversation.
Yes.
That's a different conversation. But if we're talking magnitude of just a name, Brock Lesnar beats almost everybody in WWE today besides The Rock, which is still under contract, everybody. Let's not forget that. The Rock
has this like long contract that doesn't almost expire. I think he has like a 30-year contract or something like that.
Yeah, and it's pretty much like Brock, where he picks and he chooses, and it works.
Yeah.
But the difference is Rock built a lot of shit in wrestling.
Yeah.
Brock didn't. Brock built his name.
Brock built his name, and Brock,
That's it, though.
like, Brock bought, like,
Ruthless.
almost like the UFC shit to the wrestling world.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Ken Shamrock come in like early on during that time, but it's just but Brock really brought legitimacy, like, for UFC and all that shit, for UFC fighters to come. And here's my thing. Here's one more thing too before we go. DC, Daniel Cormier, you are not WWE, so stop with your cutting promos and saying you're something. You're nothing. You're a retired fighter. Just stay out of the business.
And exactly. I do feel
I don't care what Paul Heyman said about him.
I do feel like Brock opened the door for that.
Yeah.
But not everybody is meant to be a wrestler.
Right.
You could go train and be an MMA or a UFC fighter. Almost anyone could, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not everyone can train to be a wrestler.
No. Not everyone could train. I'm sorry. Not everyone. Anybody could train to be a wrestler.
No
one could train to be a WWE superstar.
Yes. No one can deal with a professional wrestling schedule. It's hard.
Yeah. I don't care if you come from the NFL, go, I could do this. 365 days a year, 360 days a year.
Nothing.
On the road and not home? No, you're not doing it. No off season, you're not doing it.
Exactly. And unless your wife is a wrestler or somehow your manager or whatever, she's home and your kids are home and everything's at home and you're on that road all day.
So go on YouTube and watch Triple H Punk's Tough Enough rest from back in like the first Tough Enough.
Yeah.
He explains
Triple H Tough Enough. And everything will pop up. Because he has multiple videos explaining why it's so hard to be a professional WWE wrestler. Or like you can even say AEW because somewhat.
They get days off though.
WWE does too now because they don't do live shows. And they're not going to even after COVID.
Right.
Which is good. Thank God Vince stopped that bullshit. Because that was giving unnecessary injuries and unnecessary.
And I think that's what he realized.
Oh yeah, because you have main character, you have to have your big names there to bring people, obviously. So when you book a Seth Rollins or a Roman Reigns in this match, and they tweak their ankle, guess what? They're not on TV or wrestling for 2, 3, 4 weeks, depending on how bad it was.
Right.
You might get an appearance out of them and a promo. But to be honest, as much as I like Seth and I love his new gimmick, I just don't want a promo out of Seth.
Yeah, I want a wrestling match out of Seth.
And to be honest, I don't want Roman to grab the mic at all. So, yeah, maybe now he's learning.
Now,
he's learning.
Yeah.
He's slowing down. That's what it was. He was talking too fast. And he was like trying to get to, I think, all the points that he was trying to get to in like minutes, in like seconds.
That's because Vince was writing his promos. So
and I think Paul was helping him. And to be honest, he might even be studying like Brock Lesnar stuff because he talks so.
He talks slow, but he talks like
now.
He's like it's like he's studying like older wrestlers, not just Brock Lesnar.
Jake.
He's studying Jake.
A little Jake.
A little bit of his brother and Dean Ambrose when Dean would cut promos.
A little bit.
I mean, obviously Brock, but folks, But folks, once again, this is the true champ, Sean. And that right there, folks, right over here is Loud Mouth Luch, who claims he's a champion too. So, please, folks, make sure to go to bombshellbowling.com/loudmouth sports talk to get your loudmouth apparel today. T-shirts, $20. Your hoodies, $40. Make sure you get on. Miss Michelle has been doing nothing but a wonderful job for us. Hoodies are limited supply only. Make sure you get them. The cold weather is coming. And
That again.
from me, True Champ, and Loudmouth Luch, we will see you here next week, same time, same place at 4 p.m. for Loudmouth Off the Top Rope. And hopefully, the ever funny, but doesn't know wrestling at all, Matt Light on the show.
Maybe.
Unless he's scared. So, Promo Wars next week, folks. Make sure you tune in.
We got some stuff.
We'll see you here next week, 4 p.m. for Loudmouth Off the Top Rope.